Hi everyone, welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the match preview for arguably the biggest game of the season. Newcastle United versus Arsenal, the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final at St James's Park under the lights, 8 o'clock kickoff. Wow, what a game this is going to be. We're 2-0 up from the first leg. Massive advantage going into this game, but there's been some serious narrative changes over the last couple of days and a week or so. We're going to get stuck right into this, talk about how I think the lads are going to line up, how I think the game is going to go, and how the opponents are going to bring it to St James's Park pretty much. But we're going to get stuck right to that in a minute. Before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, smash subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. We're so close to the 10,000 subscriber mark, which is massive for us. Real milestone moment for us if we can get us there, guys. We're only a couple of hundred away. Smash that button. You recommend us to family and friends, share us. It's all free content. If you do want to support the channel, there's member options down there, but we love all the support. And thank you so much for everyone who stuck that button. Excuse me, I'll get my throat back together. That's how excited I am about this game. I'm really excited for more than one reason, mainly because I'm going to be there as well, which is incredible. I don't get to go to many games at the moment. Obviously, jacked my ticket, season ticket years ago, as you know, anyone who's watched us for a while. You don't get many tickets now anymore. So massive thank you to the people who have managed to help me out with a ticket for this game. And I'm buzzing. I can't wait to be part of it. And then the atmosphere is going to be just as important as the team lineup, which I'm going to discuss in a minute. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. It really, really is. I was lucky to be at the Southampton semi-final where Sean got a brace, and it was one of the best atmospheres I've ever been to in my entire life watching Newcastle United. Even before the game, the DJ blasting Thunderstruck, the stadium was rocking. Please do that again, Mr. DJ. Spin that track again, because it got the whole stadium bouncing, stamping, shaking. You could probably hear it in fucking Jesmond. It was that loud, to be honest with you. But I really hope that happens again. War flags are already whipping everybody up into a frenzy, talking about a big display. The players have already turned around and said, bring your scarves. Everyone's going to have the scarves. The scarves are going to be waving. The flags are going to be flying. And we need to be like that. We need to make this a cauldron. We need to make this hot under the collar for Arsenal. We've had Arsenal's number the last few games at St James's Park. There is no doubt about that. We've rattled them. We've wound them up. We've pissed them off. I hate that manager. He's such a crybaby wet pants. He really, really is. And if you can get him rattled, that then reverberates through his team as well. But they've just come off the back of an unbelievable result against Manchester City, where they literally handed Pep Guardiola's team's arse to them on a plate with a bit of garnish on the side. It's the last thing we probably wanted before this game, because Arsenal are going to come in here with their backs up, swinging it left to right, thinking they're going to absolutely batter Newcastle 4 or 5-0. I think Martinelli's already come out and said that. So for me, the first tackle of the game is Tino Livramento or Bruno going right through the back of that fucker and putting him on his arse and letting him know he's in a game. So this is how I think we're going to line up in this game. Obviously, big injury news going into this, and whether he's fit or not, I don't think he's going to be. But for me, people are talking about bringing in Nick Pope again over Dubravka. I love Nick Pope as a keeper. He's a great shot stopper, but I don't think Dubravka's done much wrong really since he's come back into the side, and that's led to him really getting a new contract. If he's happy to be the number 2 and fill in, then fine. I think he's an excellent reserve goalkeeper. You know, I think Dubravka will keep his space in the side. I don't think Eddie will make that change for Nick Pope coming in unless there's serious concerns about Dubravka. And then the back 4 is a big question mark. Kieran Trippier was linked to a move to Galatasaray in the window. You know, people saying that Trippier wanted the move. Newcastle didn't want to make the move. For me, I love Trippier's experience and his leadership and everything else, but his legs worry me that someone like Martinelli will run at him. You know, they've got pace in that team. There ain't no doubt about it. And that would concern me that he would be targeted for that pace. You even saw him against Fulham. He plays very safe now. He doesn't want to get caught with speed because Fulham had some nippy players too. So I know Tino had a bit of an iffy game against Fulham, but with a young player, you're going to get that ups and downs. I think Tino Livramento defensively is better because he has the pace to deal with Arsenal's counter-attack, and the press that they put on Man City was ridiculous at the weekend. It really, really was. So I think Tino's going to start the game for me. Centre-backs is where I'm making the change. Fabian Schär has been pretty poor this season. I think he's aged out. You know, those crossfield switches that he does are getting read by everybody. The dribbling out of defence is ridiculous. The lackadaisical passing puts us under pressure, and we can't afford that in this game. We just can't afford that. We can't let Arsenal take an early lead in this game. We can't be the kind of architects of our own downfall. So for me, Sven Botman has to come back in. He's had a couple of games rest now. He has to come in alongside the imperious Dan Burn this season, who would throw himself in front of the Metro to stop a goal going on the back of the net. He has to play Dan Burn. I know what he lacks in footballing ability, he makes up for in just guts and determination and passion and everything. And we need that in this game. We need that. And Dan Burns, a local lad, he comes out. I know people say it shouldn't matter, but he comes out, he sees the war flags, he sees the scarves going. Dan Burns is going to grow even taller than he already is in that game, and I think Burn has to start. Lewis Hall left back is a no-brainer. Lewis Hall's been excellent this season. We need another game like that from Lewis Hall, defensively and offensively, to push Arsenal back the other way as well. Now, the midfield is where the major team news is coming in, because we saw Joe Linton. He's not looked great for the last few games. Looks like he's carrying something. He's strapped up to the nines at the weekend. He's flying into daft tackles, and he had a knee brace on in the picture of the day. Now, as hard as Joe Linton is and as strong as that left leg is, I don't think Joe Linton's going to make this game. So I think there is going to be a midfield change. Now, the change that we've gone for here is the change I think Eddie will do, not what I would do. If it was up to me, I would bring in Louis Miley into that midfield, because I think Louis Miley is an excellent player. I think he's got everything in the locker. Aggression, maybe pace, maybe lacks a little bit of that. But with Bruno and Tonali alongside him, they can bring the aggression. They can bring that. And Louis Miley can get stuck in a little bit. We've seen that already. Remember that goal we scored against Luton when he fucking nailed Ross Bartley and give it to Harvey Barnes. He grows in games, Miley. He learns. He absorbs everything and he just gets better and better. But technically on the ball, he's so good and controls the ball. And we probably won't have the ball a lot in this game. So when we do have it, it's important that we use it. So for me, I would play Louis Miley, but I don't think Eddie will. I think Eddie will go with the legs and the energy of Sean Longstaff. And listen, Sean gets a lot of criticism from the fan base, but we've said before, there's certain games where Sean Longstaff is an excellent decision to choose. And these are these types of games when you've got to dig in. It's backs to the wall stuff. It's winning free kicks. It's playing a little bit ugly. It's getting stuck in. Sean can play in those games, and he looks good in those games. He looks like he serves a purpose. That sounds a bit harsh, but his purpose is more important in a game like that than it is when you've got the ball and he's not particularly great on it and he makes the wrong passes and stuff like that. So Sean will be the one I think Eddie brings into this midfield three alongside the two, Guimaraes and Tonali, who we need a massive game from, the pair of them, more of that in a minute. And then the front three picks itself, you've got Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side, Jacob Murphy on the right, and obviously the main man, the man that all the Arsenal fans want to sign, not sound like Sky Sports, Alexander Isak. So that's going to be the 11 I think we're going to go for. And this is not going to be an easy game at all. Now, we're 2-0 up from the first leg. Of course, that's a massive advantage for us. Arsenal got to come here and score 3-4 goals to get through to the Carabao Cup final. But the backs will be up. There is no doubt about it. That performance they put against City was exactly the fuel they needed to come to St James's Park and really, really bring it. But also with Arsenal, because they're quite an arrogant club, they're an arrogant fan base, they're an arrogant everything. This might just be exactly what we were looking for, because they've smashed City 5-1 and they'll think, well, City are way better than Newcastle. We'll fucking do them. And it could just breed a little bit of contempt, a little bit of complacency in their game. And we could really take advantage of that, because in the first half an hour, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at us. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. I'll get into what I think the Arsenal line are probably going to be and some of the danger players, but they're going to throw the kitchen sink at Newcastle United right from the off. They're going to throw it at us, but with that atmosphere, with war flags, with the scarves waving, with the intensity of the game, the magnitude of the game, our lads will also be wanting to start well. And I think what we'll do is, if Arsenal come at us, they will leave gaps, and we've got the pace of Gordon, the pace of Murphy, and the pace and the guile of Alexander Isak. If we get one goal in half an hour, they're fucked. Their heads could sink completely because they'll know how difficult it is. We could get one goal and then really drop in and make it a shithouse game. Depending on how strong the referee is, we can massively upset and frustrate Arsenal. But if they get one goal in the first half an hour, then I worry a little bit about the nerves reverberating around the stadium. The last two games at St James's have not been very good. Bournemouth absolutely wiped us. Fulham beat us quite easily in the second half. And they've shown the formula to play against Newcastle United, and that is dangerous, because no disrespect to those teams, Arsenal is a far superior side to those two teams, and that concerns me a little bit. But let's have a look how we think the Arsenal team is probably going to line up. It's probably not too dissimilar to what we had at the weekend, to be honest with you. So you get David Raya in goal, who has got a rick in him, there is no doubt about it. You press him, you hurry him, you make him get the ball out quickly. He can make mistakes. He has done them in the past. Timber's an excellent player. I really, really like him. But again, if our wingers are at it, they could really give him a tough game. Saliba and Gabriel are an excellent centre-back pairing, but Alexander Isak absolutely cooked them in the first leg, and he'll be right up for this game. This is the stage that Alexander Isak wants to be on, and them two will know they're in for a tough game. Lewis Skelly, he got the red card overturned, so he can't play in this game, but He's an excellent player, there is no doubt about it. You know, he got all the headlines for his first ever goal. And the weekend did the Haaland celebration. That just indicative to Arsenal, in my opinion. They make everything a little bit OTT. You know, so I think for Lewis Skelly, you know, Gordon can really tie him up in knots, to be fair. If Gordon's bang up for this game, I think he will be, because again, the bigger the game, the bigger the performance from Anthony Gordon. Martin Odegaard in midfield is excellent. He's their main man. Everything goes through him. We've got to get into him. We've got to clatter him. We've got to get him rattled, stop him making those passes, get in his face. Parties, the kind of strength to have in midfield. He scored a great goal against City. Rice was excellent as well. We can't let Rice get on the ball and start dictating the pace. Bruno and Tonali have got to push Rice back, make him play more defensively. Martinelli's got the pace, which is exactly why I wouldn't play Trippier. Kai Havertz can frustrate, but he got a goal the weekend. They were all very, happy and celebratory about his goal. Havertz can either be shite or good. There's no happy medium. Let's hope he's shite. And Trossard is a busy little bastard. I do like that player. It's the kind of player I wish that we'd signed. He can pick up pockets of space and he can cause some damage. But again, give him a kick and he rolls and rolls for days like he's on a fucking hill in one of them, farm competitions to see how far hay can roll down to the bottom of the fucking Lake District hills. That's what Trossard does. I get right into that little shithouse and kick him right at the arse, right from the off. And then there is dangerous players as well that can come off the bench. I love Ethan Nwaneri. He scored a belter of a goal at the weekend. He's capable of cutting inside and unleashing something. So, yeah, this is a really, really dangerous challenge for Newcastle United. They've got players that can hurt us. But you know what? We've got players that can hurt them. And the Fulham game, people, maybe give the lads a bit of stick and said was awry on Wednesday. It probably was. It shouldn't have been, but it was. Now, you look at the players that we have in that lineup. And again, the bigger the game, the bigger the performance from these players. Alexander Isak wants to be on this stage. He wants to be in cup semi-finals against Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United. He wants to be playing against teams like that and showing how good he is. Sandro Tonali wants to be in those big games. Bruno Guimaraes wants to be in those big games. Botman wants to be in those big games. Gordon. They all want to grab the headlines and show everybody how good they can be. And we've got the chance here of getting to a cup final again, the second cup final in 3 years. Now, no matter what we think about the current regime and the lack of transfer activities, that is light years away. You might as well jump in the Millennium Falcon and hit the hyperdrive. That's how far away we are from the Mike Ashley era. The second cup final in 3 years is absolutely unbelievable. But we ain't there yet, and we have to concentrate. We cannot put in lackadaisical performances like we have done against Bournemouth and against Fulham at home. Newcastle need to bring it and fucking bring it proper in this game. That crowd will bring it. There ain't no doubt about that. The Toonami will be in full voice. The flags, the scarves, the city will be alive. I'm going to be in the town a little bit earlier, meet people for a bevy beforehand. And the city will be alive. There ain't no doubt about it. The atmosphere will be bouncing. Everybody will have an air of expectation with a little whiff of anxiety as well. There is no doubt about that, certainly after the last week or so with Arsenal being so good against City. But Newcastle are in control of this leg. As long as we keep in control of this leg, there is no chance that we throw it away. We have to manage this game appropriately and correctly. Eddie did a brilliant job tactically in the first leg against Arteta. The players did a brilliant job. Arsenal are easy to wind up. You can wind them up. A couple of decisions, don't go their way in the first 10, 15 minutes. They'll get arsey, they'll get snippy, they'll whinge at the referee. If the ref sets the tone and the ref's strong in this game, then Arsenal can really be just turning to a bunch of crybaby wet pants, which is exactly what they have been in the last few games at St James's Park. Their fans are going to be coming up from London all the way up in the fucking gods. They'll be expectant. After seeing that against City. There'll be the air of expectation from the Arsenal fans that they're going to walk this game and get into the Carabao Cup final, and then that'll be their trophy. Never mind that. Even if we get through this game, you could get Liverpool in the final, who are fucking amazing this season. So it ain't going to be easy to win a cup at all, whether you're Arsenal or Newcastle. Let's get that right. But Newcastle have to show up in this game. If there's ever been a game this season where we need to show up, this is where we need to show up. In terms of any surprise inclusions, there's talk about Callum Wilson maybe being fit for the bench. Maybe he will be, but I can't see Eddie giving him a serious amount of game time. And hopefully we won't need Callum. Hopefully we'll be in control of the game and we won't have to be chasing a goal or anything like that to get back into the game. But he is the type of player that can pop up and get it, especially when he's doubted and he's criticised and people wonder whether he should be here anymore. It'd just be like that handsome bastard to pop up and get the goal that gets you to Wembley, because that's Callum Wilson, isn't it? But yeah, for me, I'm massively excited about this game. I believe in the lads. I believe that we can get the job done. The hard work was done in the first leg. We're ahead in this game. There's no reason for us to do something stupid. Arsenal need to get in front in the first half an hour of this game. And the longer they don't get in front, the more frustrated they'll become as a team and a fan base. You know, a manager. And the manager is so, well, I'm trying to think of the right word. He's just a bell end, really, is the only word I can think of to use. He's such a twat and unlikable manager. If things don't go his way, he'll be nipping, he'll be snipping, shouting at the fourth official. That's what he does. People give Mad Dog shit. This wanker just does nothing but moan at the officials all game. If Mad Dog will play a big part on the sideline. I know I've been a bit critical of the old Mad Dog praise and what he gets off the media and the fan base and stuff like that. But Mad Dog is perfect for a game like this because he can wind up Arteta, he can rattle him on the sideline. And that can just help throw Arsenal off the game as well. But make no mistake about it, this is a game Newcastle have to show up for. The big players need to put in big performances. We need 8s and 9s out of 10s in this game to see the job through, to get to the Carabao Cup final. Eddie's got some big decisions to make at centre-half and in midfield in particular. Big decisions to make. I hope he makes the right ones because, in my opinion, if he starts with Fabian Schär and Dan Burn in this game, we could be in big, big trouble with a lack of pace and just some of the lapses of concentration at the back that Fabian Schär has been showing. This is a game for Botman, Eddie. You know it. Bring him in. Bring in the Botman. Let him do what he does best. Midfield is a massive call. A massive call. We're going to see what Eddie's made of in terms of whether he's got the balls to do it or not. I'm not sure that he does. I know he rates Louis Miley really highly. And Joe Willock's an option as well. Joe Willock has not been effective off the bench, but this is Joe Willock's old team. Would he come on with an extra 10, 20% in the tank? Would the crowd give him another little bit of a boost as well? Would Joe Willock want to be the guy that puts Arsenal out of the cup? Who knows? But big decisions for Eddie Howe to make. That's why they pay him the big bucks. I'm not a manager. If I was, I'd be, worried about those decisions. I know who I'd fucking pick anyway. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about our line and what you think about the game. Are you concerned? Are you worried after the last couple of performances, even including Southampton when we weren't particularly great? At times, Southampton could have even got 2 goals against us. Are you worried about what this fixture or what this game is going to be like? Do you think Newcastle have got enough to get through? Who's the danger man for us? Who are you worried about? And who do you think will be the big man for us on the night? We always love to hear from you. Smash a comment and we'll do our best to reply to it. I won't be here for the post-match analysis. You'll have Mark behind the mic for that because I will still be at the game, hopefully drinking in the atmosphere. You never know. I might even bring you an aftermath from St. James's Park, like the rest of the content creators, before I get kicked out by the stewards as well. But I'm really looking forward to the game. Getting the comments with Mark post-match, win, lose or draw, hopefully. Control, of course you can't draw, Chris. It's be penalties if we draw, win or lose. But if we win, hopefully, when we win, get in the comments with Mark, give him some love, let him know what you think about the game. Keep it evermore, guys. Like and subscribe. Let's hope we get the job done. I'll be back on the next one. See you later. Cheers.